Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan and I am the witch here round the cauldron. Today I'm going to introduce you to Ogham. Before we get started and before I get into Ogham, what it is, and some history behind it, I need to give a little disclaimer. I'm still learning Irish, and Irish pronunciation is difficult for me as a native English speaker. And so I'm going to do my best throughout this video when saying different Irish words and names, but full disclosure, I'm still learning. So please do not take my pronunciations and run with them because I'm probably wrong. Please know that I have done my best with these pronunciations. I will leave a link in the description below to a website called Tianglin, I believe is how you say it, where you can look up different Irish words and hear their pronunciations. Ogham is an ancient Irish written alphabet that was used primarily for manuscripts and engraving headstones. Today, many people use the Ogham for divination. The Ogham consists of 20 feta, or characters, split into 4 groups, or acme, of 5. A 5th group was added sometime after the 6th century, probably due to changes in the Irish language. This group is called the 4 feta. Now, despite what Robert Graves wrote in his book, The White Goddess, Ogham is not historically connected to any type of Celtic tree calendar. As far as we can tell with the research and information that we have available, the Celtic tree calendar is actually a more modern invention, so it doesn't really have a place historically when speaking about the Ogham. Today I'm going to be making my own Ogham stones out of clay. And I wanted to bring you along so you can watch me make my Ogham stones and hear a little bit of the history and some of the stories behind the creation and use of Ogham. Traditionally, Ogham would be carved into birch, but birch doesn't grow where I live, so I'm using clay. And in one of the books that I'm reading that is helping me learn Ogham, Weaving Word Wisdom by Erin Rowan Laurie, I believe is the author's name. I'll leave a link to that in the description too. They advise creating Ogham stones or sticks out of natural material because plastics and things like that don't necessarily carry the right energy. However, that is to each their own, and if that works well for you, then that works well for you too. But what of the invention of Ogham? For that, we're going to look at the Ogham Tract, or in Lower Ogham. What are the place, time, person, and cause of the invention of the Ogham? Not hard. Its place, the island of Ireland, where we Irish live. In the time of Bres, son of Ilacha, king of Ireland, it was invented. Its person, Ogma, son of Ilacha, son of Delbeth, brother to Bres. For Bres, Ogma, and Delbeth are the 3 sons of Ilacha, son of Delbeth there. Now Ogma, a man well skilled in speech and in poetry, invented the Ogham. The cause of its invention, as a proof of his ingenuity, and that this speech should belong to the learned apart, to the exclusion of rustics and herdsmen. Whence the Ogham got its name according to sound and matter, who are the father and the mother of the Ogham. What is the first name that was written by Ogham, in what letter it was written, and why Baith precedes every letter. Ogham from Ogma was first invented in respect to its sound according to matter. However, Ogham is Ogham, perfect alliteration, which the poets applied to poetry by means of it, for by letters Gaelic is measured by the poets. The father of Ogham is Ogma, the mother of Ogham is the hand or knife of Ogma. This, moreover, is the first thing that was written by Ogham. Baith, the birch, B, was written, and to convey a warning to Lu, son of Aithlu, it was written respecting his wife, lest she should be carried away from him into fairyland, to wit, 7 bees in 1 switch of birch. Thy wife will be 7 times carried away from thee into fairyland or into another country, unless birch guard her. On that account, moreover, Baith, birch, takes precedence, for it is in birch that Ogham was first written. For divination purposes, each Ogham fid or letter is associated with a tree and a meaning. These meanings cover everything from protection to despair and terror and love. One book I'm learning Ogham from, Weaving Word Wisdom by Erin Rowan Laurie, goes further into different aspects of each fid that include chthonic, oceanic, and celestial currents of meaning. These realms connect with the energy of different realms. The chthonic is energy of the land, oceanic is energy of the sea, and celestial is energy of the sky. In interpreting the Feta themselves in correlation with these different realms, Erin Rowan Laurie writes that the chthonic interpretations are body-oriented, oceanic interpretations are emotionally oriented, and celestial interpretations are spiritually oriented. Ogham can even be used magically. In the Tanbo Kunya, Cuchulainn takes a withe and twists it into a ring, inscribing Ogham onto the peg and tossing it over a pillar to help stop an impending army. "I have a premonition that the host will arrive tonight," said Cuchulainn to his father. "Take a warning from us to the men of Ulster. I must go to Fedelm Nocride to fulfill my own pledge which I gave her." Then before he went, he twisted a withe into a ring and wrote an Ogham inscription on its peg and cast it over the top of a pillar stone. Then Fergus was given the task of leading the army along the path. He went far astray to the south to give the Ulstermen time to complete the mustering of their army. This he did out of affection for his own kin. These men found the withe Cuchulainn had cast, and they noticed the grazing made by the horses. For Sultan's 2 horses had cropped the grass to its roots in the earth, while Cuchulainn's horses had licked the soil down to the bedrock beneath the grass. Then these 4 men sat still till the host came up, and their musicians played to them. They handed the withe to Fergus MacRoch. He read out the Ogham inscription that was on it. When Maeve arrived, she asked, "Why are you waiting here?" "We are waiting," said Fergus, "because of yonder withe. There is on its peg an Ogham inscription, which reads, 'Let none go past, till there be found a man to throw a withe made of one branch, as it is in the same way with one hand. But I accept my friend Fergus.'" "In truth," said Fergus, "it is Cuchulainn who has cast it, and it is his horses which grazed this plain." The easiest way to work with Ogham as a divination tool is to start with 1 fid a day, almost in the same way that I recommend learning tarot. Pull 1 card a day. With Ogham, start with 1 fid a day. Meditate on the meaning, say it out loud, write about it, sing. Whatever you have to do to connect the meaning of the fid to memory. Reading Ogham is not like reading tarot though. When we read tarot, oftentimes we also read the reversals of the cards, but that simply isn't feasible when reading the Ogham. And this is because 2 acme, the B acme and the H acme, are mirror images of each other. So it would be almost impossible to read them as reversals since they're mirror images of each other. How would you be able to tell one from the other if they're upside down? Take time when learning the Ogham, especially if you're coming from another divination system that works a little different. Over time, it is possible to toss the Ogham stones onto the table and read with all 20 of them. However, that's complex and intimidating, and I'm not even ready to start that. So the way I am learning Ogham is 1 fid a day, and even by pulling 3 and tossing them onto the table and reading them in correlation with how close they are to me and how close they are to each other. There is so much more to Ogham that I couldn't even possibly begin to cover it in 1 video. Ogham can be used for divination, for magic and healing, and even writing, as it was traditionally used for. And I feel like I should mention this because it's a neat little fact, but when you write Ogham, you write it vertically, and it's read from the bottom to the top. And I'll put an image up here on the screen of my name, Megan, written in Ogham. If you're interested in learning more about Ogham, go ahead and check out the links in the description. I will have links to all of the source material, plus some extra information that I have found on the web that can lead you to more sources and more information. As always, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much to my patrons for helping to support this channel, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.